Welcome to your daily 49ers update. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Here is what's happening. Not much has gone right for the 49ers this year, starting with Deebo Samuel, who has a whopping one receiving touchdown this season. Yesterday, Kyle Shanahan was asked, has Deebo Samuel lost a step?
Yeah, I don't think Deebo slowed down. I think, I think some of the, I think he got banged up earlier in the year. I thought he had an awesome training camp to where I'd say he didn't slow down at all. We were real excited going into the year, and I want to say it was week 2 he got hurt in. I think week 2 versus Minnesota he had over 100 yards, and then we didn't get him versus the Rams. I don't know if he missed 2 games or 1, but it set him back for a few weeks. And then when he came back, he had the pneumonia, he had a rib thing, and I think that set him off for like a month where he couldn't practice as much. And when you build up a bunch in camp and then you miss a lot of time in practice, it is hard to maintain that stuff. But by no means do I think he's lost it or anything. And then his looks haven't been quite as good this year. I mean, just like for everybody, when the 10 guys around you aren't doing quite as good, whether it's him, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's O-line, you're not going to do as good as you did the year before.
Deebo has as many receiving touchdowns in 2024 as Josh Allen does. Yikes. Speaking of defending wide receivers, Kyle, what about your first-round pick, Ricky Pearsall? Are you disappointed with him?
I think Ricky's doing a hell of a job. What people, I know everyone talks about the gunshot wound, but what people don't realize is, I think I said a couple weeks ago, but he only had 3 practices before that gunshot wound. He missed all OTAs and all of training camp. And then to get that gunshot before, I mean, basically went from Florida to us halfway through the season. So I thought he did a hell of a job coming back from that, trying to learn and practice as he goes. He's been banged up a little bit, started in Green Bay. I think he's fought through that here the last couple of weeks. I thought he did some real good stuff on tape last week, had a couple big catches. But I think he's going the right direction and hope he keeps improving here these next 3 games.
Pearsall has not had more than 1 catch in a game since November. As for this week, Fred Warner, what was Kyle Shanahan's message to the locker room?
Pride is a very powerful motivator. In this league, the moment you decide that you're going to go out there, you're going to half-butt it and not give your all when you're in between that grass or in between those white lines on that grass, and you put bad stuff on film, like that's who you are. You're judged in this league by what you put on tape every single week. So playoffs, no playoffs, we're playing 3 good teams to finish this year off. And honestly, I want to finish strong heading into next season, because that carryover is real.
Playing out a string of irrelevant games has not been where the 49ers have lived recently, but unfortunately, it is where they are right now. Let's hear from another linebacker, Dre Greenlaw. You've got some very important life changes coming up with an impending free agency. What are you thinking about going into this game against the Dolphins?
Honestly, the only thing that go to my mind is whooping Miami ass and just going to go do it with my brothers, having fun and enjoying the game. I mean, that's going to come, but you can't think about it. I mean, it's going to come regardless. So I'm just excited to just enjoy the game with my brothers.
Man, never change, Dre. We absolutely love it. Speaking of that Dolphins game, let's take a look at the practice report. 3 players did not participate. Malik Collins with an illness, Trent Williams with the ankle, and Isaac Guerendo, who now apparently is dealing with a hamstring issue in addition to his foot injury. 5 players were limited. Nick Bosa, hip oblique, Dre Greenlaw, Achilles knee, Jalen Moore, hip, Malik Mustafa, chest, and Nick Zakel, illness. It doesn't really matter, but you'd like to see as close to the 49ers team that we all know and love Sunday in Miami. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Thursday. Tim Kawakami has a fascinating article in the San Francisco Standard about Brock Purdy's impending contract negotiations and why this could get done very quickly and for less than you think. One thing to watch. I am a huge Superman guy, and the new teaser trailer for the Superman movie is officially out today. If you want to watch it, click the link in the description of this episode. One thing you may have missed. If you have complaints about Jed York as an owner, I can understand them, but just keep in mind, it could be much, much worse. According to Diana Rossini, Mike Silver, and others with The Athletic, Jets owner Woody Johnson rejected a trade for wide receiver Jerry Jeudy because, and I'm not making this up, Jerry Jeudy's Madden rating was too low. Seriously, that's the reason. So if you think it's bad with Jed, It could be much worse. There's a reason the Jets haven't won a Super Bowl since the 60s. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network wherever you get your audio pods. I don't always sound like this. I apologize. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Click the bell to get notified every single time we're live. Enjoy your Thursday, everybody. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk tomorrow.